What is going on, my friends? We are reflecting on NBA 2K25 this week. Yesterday, I posted a video talking about the best builds in NBA 2K25, whether it's for the 2s, the 3s, Pro-Am 5s, Random Rec 5s. I talked about the best builds that dominated those game modes in NBA 2K25. Today, we're going to be positive. We're going to be talking about the good things about NBA 2K25. We'll definitely take some time to talk about some of the worst things about 2K25. You do any sort of Googling or YouTubing of 2K25 and the thoughts and opinions of content creators this year, they're definitely gonna not talk about 2K25 in the best light, calling it the worst 2K of all time. Comment below what you think about 2K25. Is this really the worst 2K ever? And if not, what 2K tops this one? I'm going to be keeping it in a positive light, though. This is the one time that we won't do it. So if you like what we're doing over here, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 3,000 subs. Let's get right into it. We are already in the city, and when you come into the city, I think the first thing that we need to talk about is that it is much smaller than 2K24's city. From what I remember, 2K24 was too big. There was just no way to get around the city within 5 minutes. It felt like just to walk into the city and get to Rec or Pro-Am, you had to go on quite the ride to get there. Right down here, I mean, you got Rec right here, you got Proving Grounds right here, My Court, everything that you could possibly want to do in 2K25 was down this street. So the first thing that we have to talk about is that they got the city right, in my opinion, making it a lot smaller, a lot less time spent in the go-kart and on the scooter. That was something that needed to change immediately. So I'm really glad that they decided to do that in 2K25. That way we could spend more time playing this game and a little less driving around in 2K25. I think the next thing that's worth talking about and mentioning is the My Court. My Court was something that had been out of 2K for a few years, and bringing that back I definitely think was cool. Giving you the opportunity to hop on the court, practice your jump shots, practice your animations. What was something that you could do well? What was something that you may not want to do when it comes to your animations? You got to test that out in My Court, especially for the people that don't want to test that out in the middle of a rec game or a park game. I definitely think this was good for you. Also playing games, horse, time partner, 3-point shooting. I never did really any of this, but I can definitely understand this being a lot of fun to play with your friends. I definitely did a couple one-on-one games with the homies, but other than that, this was just time for me to figure out my jump shot, get used to the different shot animations and dribble animations that you would get in 2K25. So it was safe to say that that My Court had to make a comeback, had to be brought back into 2K25. I'm not sure why it was out of the game for so long, but it's something that we need to carry back into 2K26, in my opinion. The next good thing we're going to talk about that 2K25 brought us was going to be the reward system. Being a part of Rise, we had access to getting repped up way faster than most in this game, and part of the rep system was cap breakers. Cap breakers was something that they had never brought to 2K. It was much more than just making your build, and that was your build in 2K25. You had to make builds centered around cap breakers. Now, you could argue that this was just more of a money grab than anything, but to me, you know, you're going to play this game and you're going to make builds. So being able to have, what, 15, 16 cap breakers, 21 cap breakers if you ranked all the way up to Legend 1, I mean, that was probably arguably the best thing that they did this year was cap breakers. I have access to 15 right now. You get 5 at Vet 2, you get another 5 at Starter 3, so it felt rewarding ranking up this year. It was exciting to get to two-way tenacity, something that you only had access to if you were part of a separate affiliation last year. You weren't able to get this last year if you were, you know, one affiliate. You had access to it. It was cool to get those first 5 cap breakers at Starter 3. It felt like you really grinded and it was worth grinding. At this point, you probably had 6 or 7 at that point. So that was a lot of fun. And then one of the other things that was really cool was heat check. So now you had the ability to get heat check, the ability to get two-way tenacity in the exact same game multiple times. You make a couple good plays in 2K, now you got two-way tenacity. It helps you work towards heat check. You get heat check, your fourth shot got a massive boost. So Then Vet 2, you got 5 more cap breakers. So I definitely think that it was very worth grinding this year, especially if you're someone that loves playing 2K like myself. Obviously, there's things in 2K that we're going to talk about down the road that weren't very good, which is pretty much all gameplay. So the ability to actually grind this game, I felt like I really got rewarded pretty well if I got to Vet 2. Vet 3 wasn't very worth it in my opinion. You can see that I'm at a Vet 2. I've been a Vet 2 for like a month and a half, it feels like. So Vet 3 didn't seem very worth it. Metallic body mods and My Career Apparel discount, like that's not worth it. But after that, 100,000 VC, 150,000 VC, more cap breakers, 250,000 VC. The last time I can remember feeling this rewarded playing 2K was like 18 or 19, where you got 10 extra badges to your build if you hit Legend. I never got to Legend, obviously, but for the people that do get to Legend, like you do deserve some sort of reward that is far greater and better than anything else you can get in the game. Getting those 5 extra cap breakers, getting that extra spin, definitely felt probably worth it to them. So let me know in the comments if you hit Legend 1, and if you did, hats off to you, because that grind is definitely real and serious. The last thing that I definitely think is worth mentioning when it comes to 2K25 getting things right was Lethal Shooter. Instead of doing 2 zones for 2 weeks, you got 3 zones for 3 weeks. I definitely think that that was something that probably didn't think needed to happen, but it happened and it felt rewarding. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you get 3 zones for lethal now instead of 2. Better chance that you'll make shots from an extra spot. So that's pretty cool. And then that lasts for 3 weeks. Am I reaching to figure out a way to get to 5 things that are really good about this game? Maybe. But for the most part, I definitely think that this was a good thing. When you talk about good things in 2K, we have to mention that. I think that when you have 3 lethal spots, it helps. Less time, you know, doing extra stuff to be good at the game. I feel like 2K did a good job this year of at least doing things for us that would keep us from not playing the game. I feel like last year we spent a lot of time not playing the game, traveling around, going all sorts of places in the city, having to get lethal spots every couple weeks. Like, it just didn't seem like we were playing the game as much as we needed to do, which is what we buy a game to do, is to play. So they just seem to do a lot of good things when it comes to playing the game. So I mean, we have to appreciate that. I know that it's pretty easy to bash a game, and I'm not going to sit here and say that this game was amazing, this game was great, but I am going to recognize the couple good things that they did. And when it comes to making 2K26, I think we can all agree that, you know, there's a lot of improvement that needs to happen when it comes to gameplay. That's going to be for another video, another time, but let me know, what good things do you think 2K brought? I think I covered pretty much the 4 things that I wanted to cover. The rewards, cap breakers, grinding felt worth it this year. The city was smaller. Lethal Shooter let us shoot less. You know what I'm saying? I think that we need to talk about the good things. The bad things will come another time, but let me know what I got wrong, what I missed. And yeah, sub up if you're new. We're on the road to 3,000 subs. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Peace.